Good morning, Redeemed. This angle is terrible. Terrible. Woo! Probably looking like I'm 50 pounds heavier. Sorry, y'all got to look at all my flaws this morning. I'm going to wait a minute and let a couple of you guys pop up here. Y'all say, hey, y'all know I never do videos on a Saturday, ever. But I'm on my way to Greenville to pick up a bag party and to truthfully go to Hobby Lobby. If I'm telling the truth, I'm really going to Hobby Lobby. Look at Hobby Lobby. So y'all pop up here. My husband and my son are having a much needed Father and Son Day. They need to be with each other today. I'm just going to say that. So Mommy's got some coffee. Traveling to Greenville. Hate going to Greenville, but it is what it is. And I was listening to a podcast this morning because I always listen to podcasts on Saturday mornings. Always. Usually when I'm getting a shower, because I'm going to be real, that's the only time I get like a super long shower is on a Saturday. So I take my sweet precious time too when I take my shower. I'm just rambling while y'all pop up here. So, I could take a super long shower on Saturdays because James is home. So, I listen to my best podcast. And I always listen to mindset podcasts. I listen to trainings throughout the week, like about my business and areas of my business I can do better in. But I always listen to mindset podcasts on the weekend to get my mindset often because sometimes my mind gets burned out by the end of the week of trying to be a leader and the best business owner I can be, the best mama I can be, the best wife I can be, cleaning, dishes, laundry, paying bills, all the things, being there for you guys and being the best leader and best sponsor I can be and doing all the things that by the time the weekend rolls around, sometimes my brain is like completely dead. And that's why I always fast off of technology on Saturday and Sundays most of the time. I don't get on Facebook. I don't post a whole lot. I don't comment on things a whole lot. And I really try to get my brain right because your brain is a muscle. And when you're tired, oftentimes when you're mentally exhausted or overwhelmed, it's easier to quit or to take a break than it is to refuel your mind and relax and rest your brain and let your brain catch up with your body. So I'm a firm believer of resting on the weekends. And letting my brain catch up with the rest of my body and catching up with my soul. That way when Monday through Friday rolls around, I can really run my business effectively and be the best consultant, best leader I can be for you guys and the best mom and wife I can be for my family. So I was listening to a podcast this morning. I know that was a whole lot before I got to my point, wasn't it, y'all? I was listening to a podcast this morning talking about mindset. And really talking about, and I'll share the podcast with you guys because I love podcasts. I'm actually about to pull in the gas station so I can look at you guys. Not look at you guys because y'all ain't up here, but y'all know what I mean. Like, focus. Mindset is everything in this business. I can't tell you how many people I've personally sponsored or even people on my team that oftentimes will say, I can't. Or I can't book a party, I can't sponsor, I can't do this anymore, I'm not going to be successful at this, I suck, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, and all the things, all this negative self-talk that people tell each other, that women in general tell each other, that tell themselves that they can't do all these things. I'm actually going to pull over right here so I can look at y'all and not veer off, because I don't want to make this long. It's not going to be long, so y'all bear with me. I see y'all dropping like flies. I only see 3 people up here now. All this negative self-talk, when in reality, you're absolutely right. If you're telling yourself that you can't do certain things, no matter what it is in life, if you can't lose weight, or if you can't go back to school to get that degree you want, or you can't get a promotion in the job that you're at, all of these things, you're absolutely right. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people say they can't do something. And I was listening to this podcast, and listening to what this girl was saying about how your mindset really controls everything in your life. And it really is nothing but the truth, including this business. Oftentimes, people will say they can't do things, they'll never be successful in this business. And it's sad because you're speaking that over your entire business. I'm here to tell you, I had those same thoughts. We all have those same thoughts. The first 4 months of my business sucked. Really sucked. I couldn't get customers. I wasn't building the way I wanted it to. My business didn't look like what I thought it would be. And there were so many times that I doubted it and wanted to quit and wanted to stop and didn't think that it was worth it. But hear me, those are temporary feelings. Those feelings are temporary feelings. When you get up in the morning, you have a decision to make. You have a decision. Are you going to watch trainings to get better in the areas that you're struggling in? Are you going to book that party that could potentially change your entire business? Are you going to have that sponsoring conversation with somebody that this business could bless and it could change their life and in turn could change your entire business? And I can say that. I can give Rachel Spear. She just promoted to SSD, which is the highest level of the company. Had I not had a sponsoring conversation with her, that wouldn't have happened. She wouldn't be leaving her job in January. Stacey Edwards, same thing. Had I not had that conversation with her, she wouldn't be changing her life. Everything that you do makes a difference in your business. Every small little thing that you do in your business every single day turns into big things. Those small actions repeated day after day, week after week, month after month add up to the big things. Had I not continued to party every single month, 2 to 3 parties a month, following up with those people that order from those parties, taking care of them becoming my customers, them hosting with me, and some of those people even joining under me, it took one action for that to change and shift my entire business. Often, people get stuck on the now and what they want right now, but they don't want to do the things to get them where they want to be. For me, I didn't have a great support system when I first joined. We didn't have this team page. I didn't have a sponsor that was there for me. I didn't have somebody doing all these things for me and showing me the ropes and showing me what to do. I had to learn. And I learned because I wanted it, because I wanted this business to bless my family so much, and I wanted to be home with my son so much that I learned, that I watched Boss Babe Basics, the series, over and over and over again. I had no clue how to be a leader once I started sponsoring, so I had to watch Boss Babe leaders to figure out how to be a leader. Learning and growing never stops. Here's the thing though, people get stuck, especially for newbies, especially people that just first join. If they don't have a successful 2 weeks or a successful month, the easiest thing to do is quit. The harder thing is to learn, watch trainings, try things that other people are doing, make them your own, implement them into your business, and trial and error. What y'all don't see of the success of Ray, of Aaron, of Stacy, of Kayla Baker, or Emma, or even myself, you see the success because of title, but you don't see how many times there was failure, how many times we sucked, how many times we failed, how many times we fell down and had to either, after we fell down, decide to get back up, try something new, try something different, or quit. But we persevered and continued to try new things. That is the 1% of 99 of only 1% of people would do things that 99% of people won't do. And that's the truth. Most people quit, most people stop, and I can see it happening. I can see the trickle down effect when people get discouraged, and it shows in how they interact, or less engagement on the team page, or even less engagement on their personal pages. They let personal life or let personal things happen, or a discouraging month happen, and they decide to run with that discouragement and stay there, and they decline and they go down. They decline and they go down. And eventually, when they lose that momentum and they go down and go down and go down, They quit. Why do they quit? Because it's easier to quit than it is to rise up and get up and do something about it and change it. It's easier to quit. It's easier to stop. It's easier to say, I don't want to do this no more. I had a terrible month. This went on in my life. This happened. I get it, you guys. It happens in my life. There's things in my life you guys have no idea. And sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, girl, how did you even pull this month off with all that you had going on in your life? How did it happen? But you can either take the things that are going on in your life. You can take your circumstances. You can either use them as a crutch or you can use them as fuel. And only 1% of people use it as fuel. Only 1% of people will do the 99% of the things that other people won't do. They're a rare breed because most people throw their hands up and quit. I can say that listening to that podcast this morning, how many times Walt Disney was turned down 309 times before they took him serious. 309 times. KFC, I don't know if it's Colonial or Colonel. I heard it Colonel Sanders, but it's spelled out Colonial. I don't really freaking know. We'll just say KFC just for the sake of this video. He was turned down over 1,000 times before somebody took him serious. Rachel Hollis, one of my favorite inspirational, motivational speakers, was turned down for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. Not 10 days. Not 10 months. 10 years she was turned down before somebody took her seriously. But some of you guys get turned down by one person, or one bad month, or one bad week, or one bad season, and you deuce out and throw your hands up because you expect it to be overnight, or you expect to do a post and you magically grow this amazing business, or you expect to talk to one person and that one person just takes off and changes your business, or one person books a party with you, one person will join your team. You expect these magical things to happen, and they don't. It does not happen like that. The best things in life do not happen overnight. They don't. And that includes this business. That includes this business. This business, especially if you just started, maybe you're a month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, I'm here to tell you, I sucked for 4 months. But guess what? Everything I did in that 4 months, the talking, the advertising, the reaching out to people, the building connections, the building relationships, everything I did in that 4 months paid off 3 years, almost 3 years. Everything in that I did in that 4 month period paid off in the last 3 years of my business. It takes perseverance. It takes failing and getting back up. It takes sucking and choosing that you want more. It takes going through a little spurt. Some of you guys have the world on your shoulders, and I get it. And it takes the hard times, persevering through the hard times to get where you want to be. To push through those hard moments, push through those road bumps, push through, learn. Maybe you've had a hard time booking parties, learning how to be better about booking parties. Maybe you haven't sponsored and you want to, learning about how to sponsor, being a good sponsor and training. Maybe you're not where you want to be in your business. I encourage you that instead of quitting, you rise. Instead of doing the easy way out and quitting and giving up, you rise and you learn more. Often when I coach call and people will say an area of their business they're struggling in, parties, sponsoring, whatever, and I'll ask them, well, what have you done in the last 30 days to get better in that area? And most people say, I haven't done anything. So often, and I got this from this what I'm about to say is not me. It's not Kay Glasser. This came from my podcast. So don't y'all think that I'm that Minecrafty this morning, because I'm not. And then I lost it. Just like that, I lost it. Just like that, I lost it. I was going somewhere, and it went away. So often people take the easy way out and they quit. They quit before they have their breakthrough. They have one bad month. That one bad month discourages them, and they throw everything that they've done away. Everything they've done. And it was good, y'all. What I had in my brain was good. I'm about to feel some type of way because, hello, mister, because I totally forgot. So it is. Maybe it'll come back to me. But I encourage you to listen to podcasts and get your mind right. Oh, negativity. When they were talking about, if you're negative, you'll never find positivity. If you're positive, you'll never look at negative. So I'm going somewhere. So often, people feed and water and nurture their excuses instead of feeding, watering, and nurturing their solutions. That's where I was going. Okay? That's where I was going today. That right there that I just said came from the podcast. I remembered it. They feed and water their excuses instead of finding solutions. What does that mean? People focus so much on what's not going right. Focusing so much and feeding so much attention to the things that are not going their way or things that they wished would get better. They're feeding and feeding and feeding and watering all that negativity instead of finding solutions. So, example, I can't book parties. I can't book parties. Nobody will party with me. They're not booking parties with me. I posted on Facebook. They're not booking parties with me. I offered a free gift. They're still not booking parties with me. They're feeding all of that. They're feeding all that. Instead of saying, okay, I've tried to book parties for the last 2 months. Nobody's booking a party. I need to learn more about how to book parties. And I'm going to type it in the search bar of this team page, or I'm going to go on YouTube, or I'm going to watch Boss Babe Basics, or I'm going to watch these amazing resources that other leaders didn't have to do, but did it because they wanted to help other people. They wanted other people to be successful. Look at all the resources we have. We have Boss Babe Basics. We have Boss Babe Leaders. We have a Facebook group called Vision that Chloe and Kristen Ingalls did. We have one called, what's the one I did in January? Fierce Over Fears that I did in January. It was a 6-week program that's still on Facebook. You have so many resources. We have Build It Big. We have Ladder to Leadership that we just did. That was a 4-week program that was freaking amazing. That literally the best people in my group, the people that have high PRV, that have successful parties, did videos explaining exactly what they did. Same with sponsoring and coaching. They talked about exactly what they did in their business. We have all these resources, but yet people don't watch them. People don't implement them into their business. They don't take the time to invest in themselves. And hear me. You are important. You matter. Your business matters. But if you're not willing to invest in yourself and invest in your business, why do you think your customers are going to invest in you? Why do you think people are going to join your team if you're not even going to invest in yourself and take time for yourself to learn? Why would your team come to you for coaching if you're not investing in yourself? So hear me. Some of you guys think you're not worthy of this business or you'll never be successful in this business, and I hear you because I used to be that person. I used to think I never would be successful. And I had everything against me. I have no family support. My mom has never bought crap from me. My family lives all over the U.S. I do not have a good family. You guys that know me personally know my family background. I don't have a good support system. I had no friends buy from me. I literally started at work with the 4 nurses that I worked with. That's how I grew my business, at work, getting to know their friends and family and taking care of their friends and family, them becoming my customers. I lived in a small town with up until a couple months ago, I had no Wi-Fi. I had to put orders in on my phone, do trainings on my phone. For you guys that rode with me for so long, y'all knew the struggle. Like, y'all could barely hear anything. I had to do videos on my way to and from work because the service sucked. I had no printer. literally no printer. I would have to go to the library on my lunch break to print labels to put on my things. And I live in a one-stop light town where there are a ton of consultants where I live. Nothing was in my favor. But you have to decide to do what 99% of people won't do. And that's what I decided. I decided, when I really decided to take this business seriously, to change my son's life, to leave a job that I hated, I said, no matter what, you have all these things against you. All of these things that aren't in your favor, you have nothing in your favor. Like, it ain't looking too bright over here. Your future with Cincy ain't looking too bright over here. But I had to make a decision to either let all of those excuses on this side hold me back from what I really, really wanted. And here's the difference. I worked 12 to 14-hour shifts. I breastfed Aiden. Aiden was a newborn when I joined. I was working 3 to 4 different offices, managing those offices and working the floor, oftentimes very short with no lunch break, going in at 6:30, not getting home till 7:30 at 8 o'clock. And I built my business. I left my job when I was a star director. I left in May. For 2 years, I worked this business like a business to get out of the job I hated. And when you have a why that strong and a reason that strong, those excuses, you'll overcome every single excuse. Because yes, I didn't have Wi-Fi, but guess what I did have? I had a grocery store that I could park in their parking lot and go live for my team and do trainings for my team. No, I didn't have a printer to print stuff, but I had a library I could go to on my lunch break and go. No, I didn't have family support, but you know what? My nurses that I worked with, they were my family, and they had families that were supportive, so I talked to them. Yes, every excuse that you tell yourself, you need to come back with a positive. Everything that you're feeding your mind and telling yourself that you can't have or you can't do, you need to be feeding it with something else. Because as long as you let those things talk to you, you're giving them power. You're letting your excuses, yes, you work all the time, you have no family support, you don't know how you're going to do this, you have kids, you don't know how you're going to do this, you don't know how you're going to do this. Keep feeding that. You keep feeding that, and it's going to overwhelm you, and it's going to take over your mind and your business. Or come up with a positive. Well, I had a bad month, but at least I did get active this month. Well, I didn't sponsor anybody this month, but at least I did talk to 2 to 3 people. Stop allowing all of that negative talk to take over you. Because as long as you let it take over you and talk to you and feed your soul and feed your mind, it's going to take over you and your business. And I'm telling you, the more and more you fight that off and you focus on what's going good, or what's to come, or what you can do better at, or what you can focus on to grow better. Some of you guys are focusing on the future, or you're focusing on the past, and you're not focusing on this moment right now. Focus on being the best essential consultant you are. If you're an essential consultant and you just joined, focus on being the best essential consultant you can be. If you're a lead consultant and you sponsored one person, focus on being the best lead consultant you can be. If you're a star consultant, superstar consultant, director, focus on being the best you can be right in this moment. The best you can be. And choose every single day to do something in your business. Those little things add up, y'all. Every single person that has joined my team, or has hosted with me, or is a great customer of mine, happened because I asked. Because I talked to them about partying, or I talked to them about opportunity. It didn't just happen. These people don't just come to me. No, it happened because I made it happen. It happened because I made a choice to either remain quiet or talk. Engage, build them up, develop a relationship with them, or do nothing. That is the difference between the 1% and the 99%. 99% of the people won't do what it takes. Is it hard? Heck yeah, it's hard. Do you get discouraged? I hate to tell you guys this, but I'm a superstar director at the very top of the company, And I still get discouraged. I still get let down. I still get hurt feelings. I still feel like I'm not good enough. I still feel like I suck. Those feelings don't go away. They don't. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter though. If I focus on being the best person I can be in this moment, being the best leader for you guys in this moment, the best mama for Aiden in this moment, the best wife for James in this moment, that's what matters. But you have to make a decision every day. Are you going to do something in your business that scares you? 9 times out of 10, if it scares you, it's going to grow you. If it scares the crap out of you, it'll grow you. Why do you guys think I challenge you guys to go live on the team page all the time? Because the more you go live on this team page with people with like minds, people that you know, the more likely you'll go live on your Facebook page, and that's what truly matters. And there's a reason behind everything I do, y'all. Everything. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't grow you. And some of you guys are sitting on the sidelines of your business, waiting for your business to take off, but not doing anything about it. Y'all aren't cheerleaders. Y'all are football players. Y'all are players in your own business game. Stop sitting on the sidelines and just waiting for all of these things to just happen. Stop telling yourself that you don't deserve this, that you're not good enough, that you're not her, that you're not me. Y'all, I'm not the person I was when I first joined. It took learning. It took growing. It took being moldable and being a sponge and listening to what other people had to say to make it my own. Stop sitting on the sidelines of your business. Stop. Y'all are worthy of so much more. Some of you guys are playing it safe or not doing anything at all because you're scared to death and you're scared you're going to fail. You only fail if you don't try. You only fail if you don't try. You have to try. And I don't mean doing a Facebook post and expecting your business to grow. I mean being intentional with your time. Being intentional with the things that you do. Being intentional with the things that you feed your mind. The things that you tell yourself. The things that you tell your soul. Being intentional with everything that you do for your mind, your body, and your soul. Because it trickles down to everything. Stop with this negative talk. Stop telling yourself you can't. If you're telling yourself you can't, you're not going to. You won't. You can. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And some of you guys have kids. You've pushed a baby out of your vagina. You have done harder things than talking to somebody about booking a party, or following up with a customer to see how they like their stuff, or talking to people about this business blessing their life. You have done harder things. If you're a mom, you pushed a kid out your vagina. If you've gone to school and got a degree, you took those hard tests to get into school, to graduate. Some of you guys have been through harder things as kids and early adults, and you've been through hard stuff in your life. This business isn't hard. Talking to people about partying and sponsoring, following up with your customers, you've done harder things in your life than this business. The problem is this business is optional for some people. They make it optional instead of making it important to them. And every day being on the forefront of your mind, what can I do today in my business that's going to get me closer to the biggest desire of my heart? The biggest desire of my heart. What can I do today? What can I do today to get there? But some of you guys are just skipping over it. And you're pushing this business to the side because you don't think you can do it. And you can do it. You can do it. So I love y'all. Let me get to Greenville. This call ain't going to drive itself to Greenville. I love y'all. If you watched the replay, do hashtag replay so I know you watched it. I just wanted to give y'all some food for thought because that podcast that I listened to this morning touched my heart some kind of good. And I'm a firm believer of sharing is caring. I wouldn't be where I am in this business or life if it wasn't for the amazing mentors in my life that have guided me and showed me what to do. Hear me though, nobody can do it for you. Nobody can do this business for you. Only you can. The resources and tools are there. The guidance is there, but only you can do those things. only you can do those things. And maybe your dream isn't to be a stay-at-home mom. That was my dream from the time I found out I was pregnant, to be a stay-at-home mom. That's always been my dream. And I know some of you guys joined as a hobby. Some of you guys joined just for $200 to $300 extra a month. Some of you guys joined for financial freedom to get out of debt. Some of you guys joined just so you'll have money to take your kids on a vacation. Some of you guys joined just to relieve that heavy weight of financial burden off of your shoulders. And I'm telling you that when you have a dream, when you dream big dreams, God-sized dreams, dreams that even you yourself think cannot happen. When you have a desire deep-rooted in your heart, like that, you can do anything you set your mind to. I'm telling you. The fear of not being with my son and missing out on the best moments of his life are what drove me for this business. It's what talked me into booking parties every month. Every time I tried to push out, oh, I don't need to book party. I don't feel like booking parties. I don't feel like having that sponsoring conversation. I don't feel like doing that coaching call. I don't feel like doing that live video for my team page or my live video on my regular Facebook page. I don't feel like doing those things. Every time I felt that way, I would think about, I thought you wanted to be home with Aiden. I thought you wanted to be with your son. I thought you wanted to get out of working 14-hour days, 5 days a week. You're not seeing your baby go to sleep at night. You missed your baby walking. You missed your baby rolling over. You missed your baby doing all these things. You missed your baby's first word. So every time I tried to talk myself out of doing the things that mattered, that little voice said, but I thought you wanted to be with your son. I thought you wanted to be with your baby. Every time I try to talk myself out of it, instantly, my why shook me. Some of you guys need a deep-rooted why. So deep in your soul that when you go to talk yourself out of doing the things that matter, it whispers in your ear, no, well, if you don't book that party, you're not going to be able to take your family on that vacation you've been wanting to go on. If you don't book that party or have that sponsoring conversation, you're always going to be in debt. Oh, winter's coming, Christmas is coming. How are you going to pay for your kids' Christmas? Every time you go to talk yourself out of something, you need something in your ear reminding you why you pressed that join button, why you started this business. What made you want to do this business? That why needs to be whispering in your ear every time you try to talk yourself out of it. Every time you try to talk about, I don't even know why I got one tear in my eye. It is ridiculous. Every time I get to be talking about Aiden, I begin emotional. Every time I talk about that baby. Look, he drives me nuts. But every time I talk about him, I get a little tear in my eye. Every time you go to talk yourself out of it, you need something whispering in your ear reminding you why you started this business. And I'm here to tell you, some of you guys are playing it safe. Some of you guys are settling for doing the bare minimum or doing nothing at all but expecting big results. Every time you talk yourself out of doing something, why did you start? What was your reason for starting this business? That needs to be whispering. If you need to print a picture out of it, put it on your phone, put it as your screensaver, put it on your computer, put it on your refrigerator. My vision board's on my refrigerator because I love food. No lie. I love food and I love to eat, so I know I'm going to go to the refrigerator a million times a day to get food and drink out of it. So my vision board's on my refrigerator. I look at it about 50 times a day. Every time you go to talk yourself out of it, you need your reminder right there. Some of you guys need to revisit your whys and think about why you started. My why was only to match my nursing income so I could get out of a job I freaking hated so much, that I missed so much of my son. The first 2 years of his life I missed out on. Missed 2.5 years of his life for a job that didn't give a crap about me, that I was a slave for and worked hard for. I wanted to match my income. You can do hard things. When things aren't in your favor, talk to yourself. Put those I'm nothing special, y'all. I just chose to do what 99% of people are not willing to do, and that's work hard, intentional, consistent, persistent in learning. And every time I fail, get back up. Every time things weren't going good, tweak it up, try something new. I was moldable and coachable and a sponge because I wanted it for my son. And some of you guys need to get back to those basics and think about the foundation of what makes this business successful is 3 things. It's PRV, sponsoring, and coaching. Those 3 things, and those 3 things alone, you need to get back to the basics and focus on those things and have your why where you can see it, no matter what your dream is. Maybe it is just $200 to $300 extra a month. Maybe it's $1,000. Maybe it's $2,000. Maybe it's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And I'm telling you, it's real life. It's real life. I never thought it was possible. I was that person that used to talk crap about everybody in direct sales. I was that person. It's possible. Absolutely possible. But you have to be willing to do what 99% of people are not willing to do. And that is put your head down, focusing on the things that matter, watching trainings, being a sponge. And watching trainings don't take a lot of time, y'all. I did it while I was in the shower this morning. Do it on the way to Greenville. Do it on the way back from Greenville. Do it while you're going into a store. Pop your little headphone in. It doesn't take a lot of time. Do what 99% of people won't do. And every time you come up with an excuse, decide, are you going to use that excuse as a crutch, or are you going to use it as fuel? I love y'all. Let me go to Greenville so I can pick up this bad party and go to Hobby Lobby. I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day.